Well, good morning and welcome to the last day of the week. It's hard to believe we've been through another week, and today is day 84 in our journey through the Word. Um, Interesting reading today. A lot of blood shed today as the people of Israel begin to take the land that God has promised them and take them in the way in which God has instructed. In today's reading, we see the difference between disobedience and obedience. Disobedience we saw back in chapter 7 where it says the men of Ai chased the Israelites and they killed about 36 who were retreating. And the Israelites were paralyzed with fear. This came about, if we remember, because of one man's sin. One man did not follow God's instructions and directions in taking of Jericho. And because of that, Israel was defeated in battle. We come to a point now of obedience, where we see in today's reading in chapter 10 and 11, where it says, "Surely the Lord fought for Israel that day." For the Lord, the God of Israel, was fighting for his people. So Joshua conquered the entire region. The difference between obedience and disobedience. There's victory in obedience. There's defeat in disobedience. We also saw today the power of a prayer. I love this, and I'm reminded that the power is not in the one who says the prayer, but in the one who hears the prayer. And today Joshua prays, "Let the sun stand still." And that's in 10:12, and it did. He prayed that the sun and the moon would stand still. And once again, God did an amazing miracle and provided for the Israelites for the sun to stand still. Joshua feared that he would not have time to pursue his enemies and have complete victory before the sun set. Therefore, he prayed for both the sun and the moon to stop in the positions they were in. The sun would provide the benefit of the daylight they needed to fight, and the moon so that the heavenly motions would not be confused. And so the sun and the moon stood still. The note indicated that the sun stood still a day. Now, if that's figured right, the sun was at noon when it stood still, and it continued for a natural day. So that would be 24 hours. And then, so that would be 6 hours from the time it rose to noon. It would stop for 24 hours, and then it would still have another 6 hours before it set. So there was sunlight, there was daylight for 36 continuous hours. So the battle could be complete. God stopped both of those. Surely the Lord fought the battle for his people that day. Obedience. The difference between disobedience and obedience. Let us never forget that God does great things for his children, and there is power in prayer. Again, the power is not in the one who says the prayer, but in the one who hears the prayer. And he can do great things. And we see that in today's reading. He handles each battle uniquely. And our job is to obey his instructions. And when we don't, or when he doesn't make sense, we have to trust him. We have to trust his heart. When we can't see his hand, we must trust him. I want God to do great things in my life, but in a way that is fresh and new each day, as he's done and as we've seen in each battle, has been fresh and new, has been different in how he has defeated the enemy each day. That is my prayer for your life as well as my life, is God will continue to work, but not do this thing that he's done in the past unless he chooses to, but that he might do something fresh and new in your life, in my life. words of encouragement for as we begin the weekend. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend, and I will see you again next week as we continue our journey through the Word.